Hi guys, and welcome to today's video. So in today's video I wanted to show you guys how you can achieve the perfect winged eyeliner, and especially if you have hooded eyes. So if you're interested in that, then definitely do keep on watching. And before we dive into the practical of how to actually do the eyeliner, I wanted to define what a hooded eye is, especially to somebody who doesn't know what a hooded eye. So if you look at my eye like this, very simply put, if I open my eye and this area where my crease is sort of disappears, or you can't be able to see it, then that means you have a hooded eye. A hooded eye is basically when you have a little extra skin hanging over this area of your cut crease, so that when you open your eyes, part of your eyelid is not seen and sort of seems to disappear into this little area. So you see, when I open my eyes, you literally can't see whatever is on the crease area and downwards. So that is what hooded eyes means. Some people have deep set eyes, and that makes them have hooded eyes. Some other people have just a really big space over here and their eyes are not deep set and they don't have hooded eyes. So in today's video I'm going to be using the Nuban Beauty Stella waterproof pen eyeliner. This is currently my favorite eyeliner, just because it's really pigmented, and also the applicator looks like this, and it's really easy to apply, and it gives those really nice, sharp and defined lines that you want. Okay, so let's get into the video. Okay, so let's get into it. So I want you to look at the way naturally your lower eyelid goes or runs. So for me, mine naturally goes like this. For other people it goes upwards, for other people it goes a bit straight, depending on the type of eyes that you have. So to be able to achieve the perfect wing, whether you have hooded eyes or not, is to make sure that you're going along your natural lower lid, just to make sure that you literally extend that to form your outer wing. The problem with just doing freehand and not really having some sort of direction to it is sometimes you get that your wing liner, sometimes one of it looks straight like this, another one looks up, the other one looks like this. So you want to make sure that they look as even, as twinning as possible. So what you want to do is just follow the natural way that your lower eyelid goes, and then here at the place where your lower eyelid ends is where you're going to just very lightly draw a straight line. And how long the line is dependent on how big you want your wing liner. So if you want your wing liner big, then you're going to draw a longer line. If you want your wing liner really small, then you draw a smaller line. So always I recommend to start small and then build it up, because sometimes you can go all the way there and then end up with a really huge wing that you don't know what to do with, or you don't want. So I'm gonna just literally extend this, and I'm gonna use the tip of my pen, not the side of my pen. Whenever you use the side of your pen, you end up having thicker lines as opposed to using the tip that gives you a much crispier line. Let me show you. So that's the tip and that's the side. You see how precise the tip is as opposed to the side, and also you want the lines as thin as possible. So I'm just going to open my eye and then very lightly mark where I want to start, and then use your pinky finger and your ring finger as the anchor to your hand, just so you're not drawing freehand and then you end up having crooked lines or smudged lines. So make sure you have some sort of support before you're drawing the wing liner. And then after I mark where I want to start, I'm just going to draw a wing line like that. So basically here we've just extended the lower eyelid towards forming the wing. And then from close to the tip, some people do the tip, some people do close to the tip, whichever is easier for you. I like to do close to the tip just so my wing eyeliner can be as sharp as possible at the end. So from close to the tip, I'm going to now take my eyeliner, and then now instead of holding it going upwards, I'm going to hold it in the opposite way, coming downwards. What you want to form is a triangular shape, but not so thick, because once you start thick, then it's a bit harder to be able to tone it down. So again, I recommend starting thinner, and then now you can be able to build it up and make it as thick as possible, or as you want it, because it's easier to add as opposed to remove once you've already put your eyeliner. So close to the tip like that. And then I'm just going to extend it all the way down. So what you want to do is make sure that you're doing this. For me personally, I would recommend, especially if you have hooded eyes, try not to do it with your eyes closed. The reason being, sometimes if you do it with your eyes closed, then you end up drawing the wing liner in an area where when you open your eye, it's not being seen. And let me look at you. You see, when I look at you with this eye, you can clearly see the wing liner from where it starts all the way to where it ends. Because I have hooded eyes, if I did it in an area where the crease is, the eyeliner enters the crease, then when I open my eyes, you wouldn't be able to see. And you want to be able to see your makeup when you open your eyes. So I recommend just doing it with your eyes open, and making sure that the place where your liner has sort of met this crease, you see this line there, when you open your eye, it's able to be seen. And then the next thing that you want to do is make a very, very, very thin line on the area that is left after the wing liner. The reason being because, especially if you have hooded eyes, if this little liner area is too thick, then when you open your eyes, it ends up being the only thing that you're able to see. So you want to make sure that that line or that liner from the wing all the way till the inner socket of your eye is as thin as possible, so that even when you apply lashes and you still open, it looks as flattering as possible. Because at the end of the day, what you want to make sure is, you see, because the reason why we're putting a wing liner on this side is to sort of give your eyes that lift and to open them up, because most of the time when you have hooded eyes, your eyes tend to look a little closed, and as opposed to them being bright and open. So you want to give the illusion that your eyes are bright and big and open, and they're not, by adding this little wing liner. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to just start applying a thin liner to connect to this wing liner, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to do it. So I go right behind my lashes. You don't want to go like this. You don't want to go like this on top of your lashes, because it will smudge when your eyelashes get in contact with the eyeliner liquid, and then it smudges onto your eyeshadow. So what you want to do is, with your eyeliner pen, you want to go behind the lashes. I don't know if I'm making sense. You want to go behind the lashes and making sure that you're not drawing on top of the lashes and then smudging it on your eyeshadow. So I'm going to go behind the lashes like that, and then as close as possible to my natural eyeline, I'm going to start drawing the thinnest line that I possibly can, like that, and then I connect it all the way to where my wing is, like that. And then again, I'm going to come towards the inner corner, and then again as close as possible to your eye, to your eyeline. You're going to draw that line and make sure to fill in any of the areas that don't have the black. Because also another thing is, when you are applying lashes, you don't want it to look like you have spaces in between your eyelashes. So you want to make sure this whole area is dark. If you do struggle with eyeliner, liquid eyeliner, especially towards closer to your inner corner, I would recommend going in with a pencil liner. This one is the Illegal Kajal Auto Eyeliner, and I do recommend it because it's super, super black. Oh, that's the one that's over. This one. I do recommend it because it's super, super black, and it does come with an easy to use tip, and a little goes a long way. So usually for my clients who get a little teary over there, I usually just take this and then just ask them to open, or I just hold their lid up, and then I want to make sure that this area over here that looks like it's not filled nicely with the black, I feel it. And also this is a way that you can tight line to make sure that everything looks as seamless as possible, especially after application of your eyelashes. So I'm going to take again my pen, and then now this triangular area, you're going to fill it and make sure that you're filling within the lines, just so you can have a neater effect. The thing with eyeliner is, when you mess it up on the lower side, it's easier to correct because you can always go in with concealer and correct. But when you smudge it on the upper side, girl, it's not as easy to correct. So always make sure that you are doing it as gently as possible, just to make sure that it's as neat as possible, because going back in to correct any smudged area on the upper part of your wing means interfering with the eyeshadow, which means going back in again with the eyeshadow, and it just usually doesn't look as neat as it was before the smudge. So again, I'm going to take the tip and then I'm going to start. I like to do this just so it can give me more space to work with, as opposed to my eye being like this and I'm like, where is the space? So I recommend like just holding a mirror and then just opening your eye like that, and then it gives you more space to work with. And then I'm just going to go in and fill in. Like that. So you see, when you open your eyes, and when I open my eyes and I look at you, you can clearly see the wing liner despite me having hooded eyes. So the tip that I would give you, especially with hooded eyes, is making sure that the area where your wing enters the rest of your eye, when you open it, it can be seen. So that means, number one, when you're marking it, make sure your eyes are open. Don't do it when your eyes are closed, because that tends to lead to you doing it in an area where the crease, so the eyeliner sort of enters the crease and you're not able to see. So keep your eyes open when you're doing it. Use a very, very pigmented waterproof eyeliner, and especially one that looks like this. It's a pen that looks like a pencil and has a sharp tip. Again, this is the Newborn Beauty Stella waterproof pen liner, and I did get this from Shop with Talia on Instagram. And yeah, other than that, the other thing that I would recommend doing is, if you're not able to go in so close into your eyeline, or if you have teary eyes, then just draw it as close as possible. And then now the area that is as close to that is like closer to your eye, you go in with a pencil liner and then just shade in those areas and make sure that everything looks as nice and dark as possible before going in with your falsies or with your mascara. The mascara that I'm going to be using is the Maybelline Colossal Longwear Mascara, and I'm just going to gently comb through my lashes like that. And again, I always use my mirror downward. I always put my mirror downwards, and then I look down just to avoid smudging, because a lot of times when you hold your mirror like this and then you try to apply your mascara and you have hooded eyes, a lot of times it ends up smudging your eyeshadow. So I recommend looking down and also doing it towards you're going out as opposed to going up. And that is simply how to do your wing liner. And then another tip is, if you see, for example, like you can see this one looks slightly thicker on this side than this one, so you can always choose to go in with your liner and then just make it as even as possible with the other one, because this one looks a bit thinner, this one looks a bit thicker, and I want them to look as matchy as possible. So I identify where it looks the thickest. It looks the thickest over here where it sort of enters, so that's where I'm going to try and make it even in terms of thickness, by just making it a little thicker when to the adjoining line, to this line over here. Go off camera, do the rest of my makeup, and then come back and show you guys how the final look looks like after we've done everything.